What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy Doc Holiday. We're back with another HBCU Overdrive where HBCU matters. And for tonight's show, hey, is what it's called HBCU Tonight. Just like entertainment tonight, but with a little style and class and a little flair to it. Uh, so, as usual, we're going to get into these announcements like it's church. All right. As usual, not as usual. So, first three games, I am going on the road to Prairie View, Denton, and I will be here in Arlington to cover up on Texas Southern. Also, like I said, I will be going at the November 5th game, Jackson State versus Texas Southern. I will be at the homecoming game for Jackson State versus Campbell. Any other games that you think I should be able to road trip to and cover any kind of swag, MEAC, CIAA, SIAC, any kind of HBCU football, put it in a comment, let me know where I need to go. Long as it's within a 4-hour drive. Other than that, being with the Jackson State, the homecoming game, because I am a Jackson State alum, I will be at that game in October the 23rd. So, as usual, like I said, I'm trying to get on the road. I'm trying to get like everybody else, but I don't want to be like everybody else because I'm going to be my own person. I'm going to be my own man as far as when it comes to this HBCU content. So, man, let's get into it. It's HBCU tonight. Let me get this banner going right now. As y'all know, okay, if you haven't done by now, please like, comment, share, and most of all, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Get all the updates that you need. Send me some stuff as far as what you want me to talk about, what we need to research on, what is a good idea for actual topic on my show, and I will provide that with you. I will provide that for you, with you, and to you. So basically, that's trying to go with a new, excuse me, with a new format going on. Having a good little talk with some people that I know that's that's doing the damn thing. But first of all, let's get to it, man. Let's get to this right here. Morris Brown is back. Like I said, Morris Brown is back. Coach Walker, I know you're gonna love this right here because you are an NBC alum. They are back after a 20-year hiatus of not being accredited. They have full accreditation back to the school, which means they can provide full financial aid to the students where the students don't have to worry about paying out of pocket. Basically, I'm just letting you know, Morris Brown is back. Let's get the backstory. I'm gonna keep it kind of short. Basically, with Morris Brown, there were some financial miscues within the financial aid department. It was a big story. Basically, the school president and the chief financial officer were stealing money. They were stealing money to provide for their own expense, to live off the lavish life using the money of the students. I do not like that. That's not cool. That's not what's happening. That's not what's popping and everything. So, of course, they went to trial. They both were found guilty. I do not know what happened to the school president or the chief financial officer. I do know that they did go to jail for that. At that time, once they figured out that the accreditation company figured out that these two people were stealing money out of the financial aid office, they came in and stripped everything from Morris Brown. It was to the point where Morris Brown probably had like 25 students on campus, and where they was paying like 20,000, 30,000 just to go to school. They didn't have a full they didn't have a full accreditation for the school. So it is a great story as far as the Phoenix rising through the ashes and recovering. Hopefully, this will get the attendance back up. Uh, it's not gonna. It's not gonna. It's not gonna go overnight, but with the help of prominent and loyal alumni, they would be able to get the school back to where it was before all the financial mishaps was going on. So I am proud to say that Morris Brown is back. Because you want to know why? We need Morris Brown. If you don't have Morris Brown, look, the AUC is nothing without Morris Brown, because you have Clark, you have Spelman, you have Morehouse, and then you have Morris Brown that hasn't done anything for the last 20 years. Now they can get back into that circle of being in the AUC, and they could thrive, they could flourish. I've seen it where they're holding uh, interest meetings for Greek life. Hopefully, they can get back to having a athletic program to where we can actually cover Morris Brown, and hopefully they can bring the band back, because the Marching Wolverines is a bad band. Hey, and I mean it in a good way. If you haven't if you haven't seen Drumline, they were in the movie. So I want to see Morris Brown back on top. So that is my thing going for 2022 and beyond, to make sure that Morris Brown get back to where it was before all the foolishness happened. And we need to learn the lesson. All HBCUs need to learn the lesson of Morris Brown College, and what not to do and who not to trust when you're picking your leadership. You have to vet your leadership. So kudos again to Morris Brown. I salute them. Boom. All right. And the next on the list is, y'all have to excuse me. You know, I really don't wear glasses like that. But anyway, Shaw University basketball probation. And I read this on Twitter, y'all. So let's get into what Shaw the it's on the men's basketball side. Let's get into what Shaw men's basketball had going on with their actual program and stuff like that. So let me get this going on right here. Boom. There we go. There we go. All right. So, excuse me, y'all. So, this is from the basketball season 2018-2019. And um, it goes on from all the way up until, not from last year, but right before COVID started. So, this is from the NCAA right here. That's what I'm reading from. A Shaw men's basketball manager arranged for the completion of coursework for 6 men basketball student athletes, resulted in those student athletes competing while ineligible. According to an agreement released by the Division II Committee on Infractions, as a result of the misconduct, the men's basketball head coach violated head coach responsibility rules, and Shaw failed to monitor its men's basketball program. Additionally, 5 individuals violated ethical conduct within the NCAA bylaws. So what that means that the men's basketball coach told asked one of the ladies from the women's basketball team that's a student athlete to do the work for these 6 individuals that's on the men's basketball team. And if you don't know, Shaw University at that time, 2018, 2019, they won the CIAA tournament and they went to the Division II playoffs. So in order for them to be eligible, they had to have those. He made that lady do the work for him. And also they received benefits while they were ineligible. Okay. So it was the head coach's responsibility to make sure that they maintain the program to the higher standard. If you don't understand, that means basically you can't do anything. You can't do anything while all this is going down. You have to basically every program, football, basketball, baseball, no matter what type of program, athletic program it is, has to be squeaky clean. They have to abide by the rules. They have to abide by the NCAA rules, and Shaw did not do that. Um, so basically, this is what the punishments are, and that's why I'm reading off the NCAA website. They are 4 years probation. They are fined $3,500, which they have to pay to the NCAA. They have to vacate the records of the players that played that season. So if they played 31 games that season, basically all 31 games that they played in that season is null and void. It's basically what you would say referred to as the Michigan, what happened with Michigan. Um, so basically they have to have an audit of. Let me get this close to, but yeah, they have to audit of the university athletics compliance program during the first and third years of the probationary period. Universities shall have an independent external agency or consultant experienced in NCAA compliance matters and investigations conduct the audits. The first audit should set forth a list of recommendations and establish a timeline for those recommendations to be implemented. The second audit will measure the university progress toward meeting those recommendations. Basically, that uh, Shaw University can't have anybody do the audit from their own university. It has to be somebody else from the outside to do these audits. So basically, it's the first year. The first year they have to make sure that they are in compliance and they have to establish the rules and regulations for the basketball program. So that's from your first and second year. So they only do the audit for the first year, but the second year they don't come back to the school. But the third year basically says that the second audit will measure the university's progress toward meeting those recommendations. So basically, the third year they have to make sure that whatever this person set forth for them to do, they have to go by and do it from start to finish, the letter of the T. And during the fourth year is also the same way. This is during that probationary period. Okay. Um. So basically, Shaw can't do nothing wrong within these 4 years. So if they do anything wrong within those 4 years from even another sport, let's say football, then the NCAA can go back and add more time to the probation. Is let's say let's give an example. The SMU Mustangs in the 80s. Basically, uh, basically, y'all everybody know the story about the Pony Express, the Pony Excess, and how they basically paid the players to come to the school and stuff like that, and they kept paying the players. And when the NCAA caught them red-handed, they told the NCAA that they were going to stop paying the players, but they had a secret meeting where the governor at the time, Bill Clemens, said we cannot stop making these payments to these players until they leave the school. So they had a backdoor meeting and said, "Hey, we got to keep this money going to these players, or somebody's going to snitch." Somebody did snitch. If y'all know, if you remember the story, for all the old heads out there that remember the story, somebody snitched on them. The NCAA came in, found out that they were still doing the same thing that they told them not to do, and guess what? They ended up on the only school, university, to end up with the death penalty. So, the other requirement is basically a requirement that the university provide a copy of the infraction decision to its regional accrediting agency, a 3-year show cause order for the head coach, a 3-year show cause order for the associate head coach, a 3-year show cause order for the assistant, a 3-year show cause for the volunteer coach, a 3-year show cause for order for the manager. And then the last thing is a disassociation of the university from the head coach, the associate head coach, the assistant coach, the volunteer coach, and manager for the years beginning July 13th, 2022, which was last month. Okay. That was last month. That was basically a couple of weeks ago. Ended July 12th, 2027. So from July 13, 2022 to July 12th, 2027, they can't do nothing wrong. They are basically being monitored to the T. And what that means with the show cause penalty, what that means that wherever this head coach goes, where he gets hired at, the school that hires him have to be able to say, well, you have a show cause. What's going to be good for us to hire you where you're not going to do the same thing that you did at this other school? Because basically that's what it is. It follows you. If you really think about it, let's think about the Art Brown situation. Art Brown's had a show cause penalty, I think, for like 2 years. So basically, if he wanted to go coach back into the NCAA, into the FBS, that's going to follow him. Another person that had a show cause penalty on them was Dave Bliss, and that was during actually same place with Baylor on the basketball team where he tried to cover up the murder of one of his players and make this whole story up. That man had a 5-year show cause penalty to where wherever he went to school, wherever he go coach at, it was going to follow him. And most of the time, people who have show cause penalties on them, they never get back into coaching or wherever their profession is. They don't never get back into it. And I've seen it before with my own eyes. All right. So let's finish it up. The university shall not accept any assistance from the individuals that would aid in the recruitment of prospective or enrolled student athletes. The university also shall not provide any athletics benefit or privilege to these individuals that is not generally available to the public at large. Basically, you can't accept nothing from these folks. If they even have a dude that they want them to come to school to Shaw University, you can't even it could be the number one player in the nation. They can't do nothing. They can't accept it because you put the school in position to be basically almost blackballed. And from what I'm looking at with these infractions right here, it's basically you're looking at Shaw University should have been on the death penalty. They was getting ready to, that was basically almost being able to strip the basketball program fully. And when you're on the death penalty basically means you cannot do anything with that particular program for at least 1 year. Most of the times it's 2 years because you have to disassociate yourself from everything from what that coach did, what that previous coach did, and it's basically you know what I'm saying. It's basically you're in the dark. You don't exist. Other teams that did that, for example, like I said with SMU, they're the only ones to get a death penalty. Prairie View in the HBCU world, as far as with football, they did the same thing. They basically fooled around with the financial aid for the football players. They had to shut down the program, and this is from the school. This one from the NCAA. They shut down the program, and basically they came back with pretty much no scholarships. They was basically playing club football. If you really think about it, they playing intramural football with pads. And as everybody knows, they went on an 80-game losing streak and didn't win their first game until 1998, and that was against Langston. How I know, I saw it when I was in Memphis. I was at the Southern Heritage Classic. Boom. It was on TV. They won the game. So yeah, man, let's get out the from that subject right there, and we're gonna talk about what's going on right now. The FCS Top 25 Preseason Poll. All right, everybody knows that the number one team in the land in FCS is North Dakota State. North Dakota State was the number one team in the land. They won their 10th national title last season, and I see that this gravy train ain't gonna stop no time soon. Let me get this up right here. Boom. All right. So as y'all see, if you see on the screen, you have North Dakota State at number one. You have South Dakota State at number two. These are the two land grant universities for their respective states. They play damn good football. They are part of the Missouri Valley Football Conference. That conference is the strongest conference in FCS right now. I want to see what happens when North Carolina A&T go up to Fargo and play NDSU in the Fargo Dome. And I think that is like the second game of the season. So I want to see that game. I'm going to check that game out, and I'm going to give y'all my synopsis on that game when it comes about. I think that is in September. Rounding up at number 3 is Montana. Number 4 is Montana State. So those two are part of the Big Sky Conference. Number 5 is Missouri State. Number 6 is Villanova. Number 7, Sacramento State. Sacramento State is part of the Big Sky Conference also. Villanova is CAA. Missouri State is part of Missouri Valley. So there you got Kennesaw State at number 8, number 9, Southern Illinois, number 10, Stephen F. Austin, number 11, you have East Tennessee State, number 12, Chattanooga, number 13, Eastern Washington, number 14, Incarnate Word, and at number 15 is Jackson State. Jackson State is the only HBCU that's in the top 25. In fact, Jackson State is the only HBCU that's in the top 15 on this list. So basically, everything you see right here that's going off of what they did, stuff that they did last season. But I don't kind of pay too much attention to preseason polls because that's what they are called, preseason polls. So we don't know what's going to happen with the polls until the actual season starts. Hold on, let me get some of this good old H2O right here. Hey, y'all need to go get you a circle bottle. Good, got flavors. Got a flavor filter into it. Hey man, it helps. Okay, So rounding out the top 25, Holy Cross. You got Holy Cross at number 16, 17, Southeast Louisiana, 18, UT Martin, 19, Delaware, 20, Weber State, 21, Northern Iowa, 22, Rhode Island, 23, Mercer, 24, Richmond, and 25. Rounding out 25 is UC Davis. So we have other schools that receive some sort of vote. South Dakota, Eastern Kentucky, FAMU. So FAMU is at number 28. William and Mary, Dartmouth, Monmouth, Harvard, Princeton, Central Arkansas, Furman, South Carolina State, Sacred Heart, Elon, and North Carolina A&T. So let's talk about the Jackson State. Let's talk about the Jackson State thing. All right. And I'm going to kill this right here, kill this share screen right here. So, as everybody knows, first game of the season is the OBC. All right, that's against Florida A&M. So Florida A&M, when they come into the OBC, they're already going to have a game. They're already going to be a game up on Jackson State because they played North Carolina in the first game, which is the last Saturday of August. I expect them to get dog walk by North Carolina. You never know what's going to happen. You never know if they probably lose by maybe 20 or 15 or whatever points. But most of everybody knows that when they play North Carolina, that's going to be a loss. So when they come to the OBC, that's basically going to be FAMU's, I would say, unofficial first game. Excuse me. So I'm looking at this game, like I said, like I said before, whoever wins this game is going to be ahead in the Eastern Division of the SWAC. Again, let me repeat. Let me repeat. Whoever wins the OBC September the 3rd, either September 3rd, September 4th, whatever, they are going to be in the driver's seat for the Eastern Division of the SWAC. Second game is against Grambling. No, not Grambling, Tennessee State. I view Tennessee State as I viewed their head coach, Eddie George. And everybody knows Eddie George was that dog, was that dude when he was with the Tennessee Titans. He was hard-nosed. He was a hard-nosed running back, 3 yards in the cloud of dust type running back. Put your head down, get your lunch pail. We going out to work. You know, he was that type of football player when he played on the pros. So I feel like he's getting athletes, and nobody's not speaking about this when he did his recruiting. They are getting some hellified athletes to come to Tennessee State. So it's not, to me, that Southern Heritage class is not going to be a cakewalk for Jackson State, because I feel like they're going to be in a dogfight in that game on the second game of the season. Will Jackson State win? Yes. Will it be by a lot? No. I say it will be they'll probably beat Tennessee State by 10 points. If you have a prediction of that game, put it in the comments, and we can go ahead and we could talk about that as the season goes along. And everybody know how I feel about Tennessee State. Tennessee State should be in the SWAC. I don't care what anybody say. Even my guy, Mr. Campbell, he'll tell you Tennessee State should be in the SWAC. Don't know why they went to the OVC. The OVC is pretty much about to be non-existent unless the OVC get more teams come to the conference. But as I see right now, the OVC pretty much is on its deathbed. The same with the Big South. But um, the game is going to be close. I'm not going to say is going to be a blowout, but I know the game is going to be close because Tennessee State plays Jackson State hard every year for this game. Everybody knows that it's not going to be a cakewalk for this game right here. So moving along in the schedule, they play Grambling, which is going to be a home game, but it's not going to count against. It's not going to count against the SWAC because we consider it a non-conference game. Grambling has a lot of stuff going on, and Hugh Jackson is trying to make that thing work. Whoever he picks as his quarterback, if it's Halloween, if it's Trillian Harris, whoever he picks as his quarterback, I see them giving a lot of teams fits, and especially because they have a loaded backfield. That backfield is loaded. I'm looking at Mo Washington. I'm looking at all these other running backs that they have that fits Coach Hugh's style. You know what I'm saying? Even though he is Coach Hugh is a quarterback at heart, he's a former quarterback, but they're going to fit his style because he wants to dominate. He wants to establish his run game in order to set up his pass game. Y'all gotta understand, Coach Hugh is old school. You know what I'm saying? He's old school, but he has some innovative ideas as far as for his offense goes. If you don't know, look what he did with Tennessee State. Tennessee State should have won the OVC. They lost some games by a couple of points, like probably about 10 points or less in like 4 of the games that they played. They ended the season. I think they entered the season either 6-5 or 5-6. But what he did in a short period of time when he was at Tennessee State, I feel like he could turn around and do the same thing at Grambling. Would that game be a blowout? No, it won't be a blowout. It will be a close game because the thing is about Grambling has a good ass defense. Grambling always going to have a good defense. Their defensive line is second to none. They're second to none, only second to Jackson State and Southern defensive line. So I look at it, Jackson State winning that game by a good 10 points also. Some other games we're looking at, like I said, you're looking at when they play Campbell, that is the homecoming game for Jackson State. Now, this is supposed to test the metal of everybody keep talking about it. This is supposed to test the metal of how well you could play somebody from another conference that is not of HBCU stature. So if you're looking at it like this, Campbell is trying to establish itself as trying to get itself up as a good program. They have not been a good program from the beginning, only because the transition that they was coming from. So I look at this game to be a dogfight. But I see Jackson State beating Campbell by at least 21. People saying Campbell is going to beat Jackson State probably about 15, 20 points. I don't see that. I see Jackson State beating by 15, 21 points. So you have when they play Southern, hey, Dooley down there with Southern, whoever is Dooley quarterback that he got that's on the roster. You still have Bubba. You have some other guys that's down there. Hey, Everybody know how Dooley is as far as when he his style of football. He said it's basketball. It's basketball on grass. So he's trying to be fast paced. He's trying to be quick with the ball, get the ball out the quarterback hand, quick hitches, slants, outs, digs, ends. And then when he lull you to sleep, he'll throw the bomb on you. So that's what you're expecting to see out of a Dooley led offense. Hopefully, Southern got some receivers that can actually catch the ball, but it's all about the defense because who they have on defense, man? Jason Dumas followed him from Prairie View. Yes, I said it. He followed that man from Prairie View. He wanted to finish his seat. He wanted to finish out with Dooley at Southern. He a Louisiana guy, through and through. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you still have. So you add Dumas to the defensive line. Also, you have Josiah Greathouse. Hey man, I looked at his tape. That kid is a monster. And then you have the spring 2021 FCS Buck Buchanan Award winner in Jordan Lewis on the outside. I don't see him lining up more on defensive end, but I see him lining up more as a actual outside linebacker. If you want to utilize him, I would utilize Jordan Lewis more like a Michael Parsons type dude. You can have him. You can have his hands in the dirt, or you can have him stand up like an outside linebacker, looking like Lawrence Taylor from back in the day, and wreaking havoc on the quarterback. That's how I see you could utilize Jordan Lewis more. The biggest game I'm looking at is basically when they go play Texas Southern because I want to see Andrew Body versus Shador. Andrew Body can get 300 yards with 150 yards running with four, 5 touchdowns. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I would say it like that. It's a wrap. Um, but everybody knows the main question for Jack State is basically what is that offensive line going to do? What are you going to do with that offensive line? It's always going to be the question what the offensive line is going to do. Other than that, if I'm looking at it, I'm looking at Jack State losing at least 2 games. If they lose to Alabama A&M, and they might lose to Grambling. But other than that, I only see them losing 1 or 2 games. I can't see no more than I cannot see no more than Jack State going 11-1 again, winning the SWAC championship. And whoever they play in the Celebration Bowl, they have to be ready. Their mindset has to be ready. They have to be on go from the time they step off the plane in Atlanta if they go to the Celebration Bowl. They cannot they cannot be lackadaisical with the game that they played last season in that game against South Carolina State because Buddy Pugh basically tapped in and exposed what Jack State was doing. So it has to be Celebration Bowl or bust. The mindset cannot be, yeah, we win the SWAC, that's it. It has to be Celebration Bowl or bust. Because if not, then you're going to be like Florida FAMU last season, pandering to be put into the FCS playoffs. And if that happened, now you're gonna have to test your metal because whoever you get paired up against, be it a Kennesaw State who has a real good ground and pound game because they are an option team, or it'll be a UT Martin or a Southern Illinois that like to pass the ball. So I can't say no more. It's either Celebration Bowl or bust. no questions asked. But as far as the FCS playout, the FCS polls go, I see North Dakota State winning again. As far as the FCS National Championship, because now you don't have to worry about Sam Houston or James Madison lurking right behind you, and that they can beat you. They're in FBS now, so you don't have to worry about that. And there's some other schools that's going to be moving up to FBS sooner than you think. But that's another subject we'll talk about. But as usual, man, we get into these shout outs right here. I want to shout out to my Lord Savior Jesus Christ. If it weren't for him, I would be doing this right now. I want to shout out to my wife. She is the head, she is the backbone of my family. All to my kids. I'm ready for them to go back to school this week. Thank God my grocery bill is going to be looking so lovely. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. I want to shout out to Scotty. Hey, yes, I'm from one of your HBCU content. I'm from your tree right there. And my last shout out is to Mr. Stephen Campbell. I'm glad that I got a chance to talk to him about what I need to do, what I don't need to do. I like to be criticized constructively. All right. I know that's not a word like that, but I am up for constructive criticism. And so I thank him for reaching, telling me, hey, what do you want to do with this show? How you wanted to get it to blow up, speaking and everything like that. So, it's some things like and I like how he's trying to help young black men like myself, like Scotty, like CFL, like Blue, like I don't care what Blue. You might be Caucasian, but you're a brother to us because you invited to the barbecue. Thank you very much. But Smash, all of us that do this type of stuff, he's been a helping hand. He's been a lending ear, and I'm going to keep getting some ideas and my criticism from him and my wife because she is the exec producer on this thing. But as I conclude this, I'm just ready, man. I'm just ready for football. I promise you, it's like when August hit, football is ready to go. I'm ready to go, even if it's college or if it's preseason NFL football. I'm ready to get it going. I can't wait. Even high school football, bro. Come on now. I live in Dallas, bro. I live in Texas, so y'all already know how we go. Y'all know how we get down with high school football here. Y'all know how we do. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see the inner city champs, them state champs from the inner city, South Oak Cliff Golden Bears try to go all the way again. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see my alma mater, Cedar Hill, try to go through the District of Doom and go to the 6A Division II state championship game. I'm ready for all that, man. It don't matter. I'm ready for the rivalries. I'm ready for the band. I'm ready for everything to hit the fan, y'all. So, but as always, I'm your guy. I'm your boy. I'm your dude, Doc Holliday. This is HBCU Overdrive, HBCU Tonight edition. And as always, it gets greater later. And let you know about it right now, it's time for some football. But until again, peace.